Hello, everybody. It's APYS Talks, a series of interviews about the blockchain industry. And today we have Ilya Nikiforov, the founder of DisCIPLINA blockchain. It's the first blockchain that creates verified personal profiles that are based on academic and professional achievements. Ilya, nice to see you. Thank you.
Hello, everyone.
Yes. So the first question, just could you please tell a bit about your personal background and about the DisCIPLINA company?
Okay, yes, for sure. So my personal background is a little bit not very common. I was studying in university, in IT university in St. Petersburg, which is well known for like one of the best developers in the world, which called is IFMO, different other names and so on, but it's the university with one of the best developers in the world and so on. I was studying there. After that, I was working just a little on different small companies, and after that, I just left to start my own businesses. So I started my own businesses very early, and I was doing them, some of them successfully, some not. Not all of them was IT related, or it was totally different businesses with different goals, different ideas. It was wholesaling market and so on and so on. But the IT was always close to my mind, and I was always interested in technologies and all the stuff. And really, in 2016, I found idea about starting some educational marketplace. I started and I called it Teach Me Please. It was something like a marketplace for different courses and different educational programs, and where any person can register and sell some access to some educational materials or lessons or lectures for our website for commission. It's some type of an Airbnb for education. And when I started working on it, I found the big gap and of possibilities in the market of verified credentials about the educations. And because really right now, one of the biggest problems on the market is HR problem. So because the recruiting and finding the new team members is really challenging, because a lot of new companies need only professionals in the teams, and so really finding the proper person in a company is a big challenge. And I was thinking how to help to connect the educational process with the recruiting process, so that the companies will be able to find possible employees much earlier, when they may be starting in a school or just enter the university and so on. And also I found the problem that for younger people, for the boys and girls who just entered the university or they still starting in the school, there is a big problem that they are losing the interest to education, because the value is not very transparent for them. Because there is a lot of different examples where their neighbors or some of their friends are not studying at all, and they have like some, I don't know, rich parents, or maybe they are like, I don't know, YouTube bloggers or something like that. They do nothing and get like a huge money income, yes. And so a lot of younger people, they start asking themselves, for what I will go to university, spending so many years, if my neighbor do nothing and get a high salary. And the problem also that it's not very transparent how exactly the university can help you, because when I was studying and my parents were studying in school and university, the main key point of the professional was the knowledge, because everybody was telling that if you have a knowledge of something, yes, you are a professional. But the problem right now that with the so big rise of the internet and with all the smartphones we have, all the technologies we have right now, the access to the information is not a big problem anymore. If like 20 years ago, if you are developing something and you need some formulas and numbers, you had two options. Yes, you was able to go to the library to open some old books to find these formulas, all this. And so if you just had the knowledge of these formulas, you was like a more professional than your neighbor. But right now it's not effective anymore, because right now you can find any information on internet in a second. And right now the skill of the using of knowledge is much more important. And the problem of education is that it still works on the old rules, like they're trying to make people to remember something, to get knowledge. But I think that really experience is much more important, because we need to transform experience into our own knowledge. And so I was thinking about how to create some type of the rating of the people or their knowledges and skills to make it much more easy for companies to search for possible employees for their brands and so on. And that's how I started the Disciplina. And because when we was making a research about what technology we can use for that need, we found that the blockchain is the best technology for this purpose, because the biggest problem with the education is that one of the biggest is that there are unlimited quantity of sources of information about you like a person. So your kindergarten, your school, your university, the company, all the companies you was working with, they all have some useful information about you like a person, which can affect your professional profile, yes, and so on. And so we was thinking how to connect all these unlimited databases, as we call them, into one big ecosystem. And we understood that making it centralized solution, like when we like a service download some data to our services, yes, and work with it, it's impossible, because the size of the data is too big, is the first issue. And the second issue is the privacy. It's a big concern, yes, for the people about their privacy, about the leaking of the private information, yes. And so uploading the personal data to your service and start working with it, it's already some issues with the privacy and some issues with the security, extra issues with the securities and leaking of information. Because if in some case the access to the database will be open for some third party, yes, it will be like a leak of so many information about the people, so like where they was working, how successful they were, and so on and so on. So it was just totally super unsecure to make a centralized solution. And that's how we decided to run the Disciplina and found the solution as a Disciplina blockchain, and started working on it in 2017. That's like a short, intro.
Yeah, thank you. And as I understand, the main problem with the current solution is centralization, and also like I don't know the system that aggregates all the data. The first thing that comes into mind is LinkedIn. Do you consider LinkedIn as a competitor of yours?
Really not, because really what is the main thing to understand, that the Disciplina is not a platform as it is. It's like solution, it's a technology for the different services, for example, for LinkedIn. So it will be cool if, for example, LinkedIn will start using our blockchain, and so this can make all the records in LinkedIn verified and transparent and trustable. Because right now, what's the problem with the LinkedIn is that you, like a user and any other user, can create any type of the profile in LinkedIn and put any type of the skills, and they really can put any type of the working background. They even can create some company called Apple or Google. It will be just another Apple, another Google, and they can be CTOs in these companies and whatever it is. And they can ask their friends, can you rate my skills? There's a lot of groups. There are a lot of groups in Facebook and in a different social networks and forums where people are sharing their LinkedIn skills. They ask, like, come to my page, pop up my skills, and I will come to your page, pop up your skills. You know, like it's like it's cheating. You know, and so because LinkedIn do not have access to this databases where the records were created, for example, to the databases of the schools or the universities. Yes, most of the records in LinkedIn are not trustable because, and so it causes the problem that really it's very hard to work, and the companies and the businesses, they still faces the same problem. They need a big HR department with the real people who just sitting and surfing through the different pages of different people and making their own decision based just on their subjective opinion and so on. So it's not objective, you know, like it's just, okay, I like this guy, oh no, this guy is not good for me, I don't like him, you know, like, and it's so untrustable, and it's so untransparent. Yes, and it's still not like automated process. Yes, so it's still made by person, by people themselves. So that's what we're doing, and so that's what we're developing. We're trying to make the solution which any company with an open API, yes, with an open API, where mostly any business, any educational company, a university or school will be able to connect to this API, become one part of this big ecosystem, adding extra value to this ecosystem, and so getting value to themselves. Because as any platform model like Facebook or any social network, any new user, it gets some value for himself because he getting access to different like information or like I don't know, pictures, images, like text and so on. And also this extra user adds value by himself. Yes, so every new user adds value. Here's the same. So every new university or school connected to our blockchain adds their users to our to our chain, and so making our chain bigger and more interesting, and same for them. So it makes so that there is no competitors inside Disciplina. So for example, LinkedIn or any other platform or any I don't know, like Coursera or any educational service, there is no problem that they all can be connected to Disciplina, because it's interest for all parties. You know, like everybody is interested to make it bigger, to make it much more like wider in all the ranges of sciences and so on and so on.
Okay, so for example, I can create my educational profile on Disciplina, and what prevents me from posting like fake data? Do you have some validator system or like?
Yeah. So we have like a few solutions. So the first thing is like what we're doing is like, it's called like something like a web of trust or so on. So it's like a network of trust. So how it works, for example, yes, you can on the start, you can create like a fake university. Yes, but what will be next? You can put some fake records like to your users. Yes, and after that, these users will come trying to get some job, for example. Yes, or will try to be to get into some, I don't know, university and so on. And so the next step after that, the next users will also check your users, yes, as well. So they also will check their skills, make some records about themselves, so on, so on. So it's like a chain of records about one person. So you was the first, okay, but after you, there will be like I don't know, maybe hundreds of different companies who will make some like records about the same person, about their skills and so on. And so imagine you made a fake records about some person, yes, and after that this person comes to some company, get a job, but after that the employer see that his skills are not really on the level which was expected because of your record, and they will downgrade the records of this person, the rate. Yes, and the problem is that if you are putting the records which are not supported by the users after you, that makes the value of your records lower. So for example, if you are a trustable university or a trustable organization, the value of your voice is like, we can call it voice, yes, like vote, yes,
Yes.
the value of your vote is much higher than the university or school or educational company, which are not supported by the future users. You know, for sure, all of this process needs a lot of participants. Yes, for sure, on the start, it will be harder to maintain, but with each new university, with each new user, it will be better and better. It will be more effective, and it will become more and more precision, you know, and that's the case. And also, you can choose as a user who you can trust, and you can create some type of the trust network around yourself. So and so on. So it's like a little bit self-governed system, you know, like when it's balanced, because on next users, they get some tests, they get some, I don't know, like new job offers and so on. They get some records about themselves, and these records affects their rating of the university or school or any educational company where they were studying before. And if it's the same level as it was written, it's increase your weight. Yes, if it's not, it's downgrade. And it's more users we will have in a system, the harder will be to manipulate it and to make the fake records. For sure, on the start, it will be a problem, but for that, we also have some type of the users who are, we call them like verified validators. So it's on the start, we will choose the official like representatives and official like universities and schools who will be certified by us. You know, we will be like a first trust center, like a first certification center. Yes, so we will give the first trust to some first educational companies, and after that it will spread.
I see, thank you. So like the network effect is one of the most important factors for your growth.
Yes, yes, for sure, and the most risky factor as well. Yeah.
Okay, and you have decided to develop your own blockchain, not use one of the existent. Could you please tell what brought you to such a decision?
The problem is that DISCIPLINA will store like a lot of confidential information, such as courses, records, students, tasks, grades, and test results. So it's about the concern of the privacy. Yes. And if we're talking about like public solutions, yes, which are which store all the transactions in open access, like Ethereum or whatever it is, they're unacceptable because of the records are transparent and so on. So at the same time, there are other private solutions such as like a Hyperledger. They are not providing enough verifiability for the data stored on them. So we was trying to find something which will be useful for us, but we decided to go our own way. We decided to move to create our own blockchain because just all the solutions we had on the market in past was not very good for us. Right now, a lot of new blockchains coming on the market, and right now we have developed our own testnet already, so our blockchain is already working. Anybody can use it. We already have some first application on it, and so anybody welcome to test it, and really it's working already. But we also making different research all the time to find if some new technology will be on the market which will help us. Because why not? If tomorrow some solution will be better than what we are doing, and we can be more effective on top of some other blockchain, we can always make some switch for that. But right now we're doing what we're doing. So we already created our own blockchain. It's already running. It's already rather stable. The background of this blockchain is the development team who created the first version of Cardano many years ago. So our blockchain have some common things to the Cardano, to the ADA. That's why we are really looking a lot to the direction of Cardano ADA, because they're developing also not very fast, because it's a very complicated solution. But right now they just introduced the smart contracts, and so we're also right now making a research about that, because we have so many common things. Maybe we will try to find some side chain of the Cardano or something like that solution for ourselves as well, because also we have a lot of partnerships with the Cardano community. We have a lot of friends there, and That's our goal. Yes, to be really our goal is to make the best solution. We are not like, oh, we want to create our own blockchain because it's cool, you know, like it's not so. If tomorrow there's some new technology will come on the market and will make it more effective to use it, why not? It's better for everyone.
Regarding the Cardano Foundation, it's I think it's so good to have such a big partner who is the number 3 by market cap evaluation in the world. Okay, and what you mentioned a bit about key target audiences of Disciplina. Could you please tell more? Who are your users, like type of users, and what value exactly they can get by using Disciplina?
So really, there is like a lot of possible cases, use cases for Disciplina. Yes. So right now, the first and the most understandable are educational institutions like schools and universities, and different educational software companies like Coursera or whatever it is, and different HR services and the platforms like LinkedIn and different other recruitment services. Yes. So, and from one side, so we call this like the suppliers of information, the services who can supply us with some data about the users. From the another side, it's the users themselves, yes, who can have like their own transparent, trustable, verified profile of their skills and educational records and really their employment records. Yes, so it's like a transport profile, and they will be able to control it. So they can control who can see it and who not. They're not able to affect the scoring, the result, the scoring, which are visible to the companies and so on. But they will be able to choose: do they want to get some job offers or not? Are they open to it or not? So it's like Facebook login system, you know. So if what we are trying to get is like, if you get to some, for example, new university, you can just log into their software using our Disciplina login system. Yes, and so after that we will be able to get some needed records about you to our system, and all these records will be anonymized and go through the blockchain only by the hashes. So the cool thing with the blockchain and why we have this two-level solution is because like your profile is like on top, yes, but the information about you is stored in these unlimited databases on the first level. So for example, on about how we want to see it, we want to get so that every company will have something like type of the private blockchain on top of their local database. It will create different hashes of information and share it to the your profile. So every time you get access to your profile, you get in this information from this like a network, yes, and this information is anonymized, and the information is, so you're getting some scoring on the information. So you're not getting the information itself because it's not really needed, because we're talking about the skills and your knowledge rate. Yes, so we can just put the numbers there. So it's like in a computer game, you know, that where you have a hero with the different levels of skills. It's the same. So really, in the most of the cases, you don't need to see why this exact person have exactly this level of skills, because if the platform and the technology is trustable, you don't need to see exactly his like test record, how he exactly answered to each question, and so it's not important. So that's what we're doing. So about our users for the beginning is all this like universities, schools, and users from other side. For the next step, we can expect a lot of other applications to be created on the top of our API. For example, different test services and so on, where people will be able, for example, you were studying like many years ago when Disciplina was not on the market yet. And so you want your skills to be stored on Disciplina. What you can do, you can run some tests software, or you maybe can visit some office of some like a test company who can run the test. You can make the test, put the results into our chain, and you will have some type of their rating already. because you have some skills, you have some knowledge, and you can just you can just prove it by running some tests and exams, something like that.
Okay, and now, as I understand, Disciplina is in alpha version. Could you please share like your key successes of for now? Like how many users do you have, and whether you started like monetize Disciplina? As I understand, your key monetization way is to provide paid access to recruiters for giving like the information about people.
So really, yes, our chain right now is what is called like alpha version, but I really don't like this name because alpha sounds something like unworkable, unstable. Really, our blockchain is already working. It's still centralized. Yes, that's the main problem. It's still on our services on Amazon, and so it's our own infrastructure and so on. So, but it's already have like a right now we have like 4 or 5 nodes which are running stable for already like many months, and we one of the biggest success right now that we already have some working application. It's application which was asked by our possible partners to be created first. It's an application which allows you as an educational company to create the verified and verifiable trustable educational certificate. You as an educational company can request access, we can give it to you, grant it to you access, and you already now can create the verified diplomas, verified certificates for your users about the education with their skills and so on. And it will be not just hashed PDF, you know, file. No, it will have all the records inside itself. It will have, we have a special verification service platform where you can upload this file just to see if it's trustable or not. So for example, user can open PDF file, make some changes to it. After that, you can upload it to our service, and it will show if it's trustable or not. And because the thing is, so it's verified not by the like a hash of the size of the file. It's not so. It really verifies the records inside it, the hashes of the records. It compares to the one we have in our blockchain nodes in the history, and let's see if it really was modified or not, you know. And so it's already use case. So we have some universities we're talking right now who want to use this system as just to create the extra verification for their diplomas and certificates of education. And we just finished it yet, like maybe a few weeks ago, and we're very happy what we're ready to start. And we are right now have a lot of discussions with the different companies about that because it's the first use case in the in its most easy use case for us, you know, because like verified diplomas, verified certificates is like the most like a simple problem, you know, like everybody understand it, like because people travel around the world, and sometimes it's very hard to understand if this exactly a diploma is true. Because for example, if you are in the United States hiring some employer who gets started, I don't know, in some even Russia or so, to check if this diploma is original, you have to make some different requests, send them some official requests, some emails, or maybe really post mail with the stamps, with the different official papers, that because it's again about the transparency, about the privacy of information. And even usually if such a request will come to Russia, for example, yes, or to any other country, they will never reply because okay, it's some other country, we don't care about that. We are able not to answer them, and it's a problem. And so we are trying to, and we already can help to solve this problem. Yeah, that's the biggest right now. So about the users, we don't have any exact amount of the users because right now we're working with the more education companies and universities in the private mode. So right now, because we just started this application, we're right now running some due diligence for these universities and companies to get them to grant them access to our system. But the next maybe a month or two, I think the amount of the users and universities will increase dramatically just because we just on the starting.
I have some background in the educational industry, and as I know, there is a whole separate industry that's with like big amounts of money, which works with diploma verification, like from other countries, etc. So if everything will be okay, when everything will be okay, you actually will kill the whole industry, which is good, I think, because it's just, you know, like working with papers, and it's really a waste of time.
Yes, it's really a waste of time, exactly, and they're really big money there because big companies are spending millions trying to find the better talents all around the world, you know, and it's a big problem to test them, to recruit them, to check their documents and so on. Yes, I know, because I had my own companies as well, you know, like IT startups and so on, and so I know how hard is that to find the proper candidate, yes, for your company and so on. So it's really a challenging problem, and there are also a lot of a big market about like fake diplomas as well, you know, like all around the world, like fake printed diplomas, and so it's also a big problem which we can really overcome.
Yes. Okay, let's switch a bit like to even more global picture. How do you think, actually one question regarding governments, government. Almost in all countries, educational system is very connected with governments and government institutions. And do you expect to like work more with government institutions in Russia, or is it like you see it would be a bit hard because of bureaucracy, etc.?
I really was working with the Russian government for mostly 2 years, very closely, because in Russia there was a special national project called which was called like verified profile of personal skills. It was exactly the thing what we was doing, and the same, and we was offering this technology to the government for free. We told them, just start using it, we can help you develop, we don't need money and so on. But the problem with Russia is the first problem, if you need money, it's already a tough problem. Yes, it's very hard already, but when you come to the government and offer them something for free, it's a bigger problem, because they don't understand that they're not taking for free, because it's so corrupted and it's so many problems on the place there, that they're not interested in the solution which they can get for free, because if they get it for free, they're not able to get some money to their pockets, you know. And I spent really 2 years. I was advisor of the Minister of Education, the person who is really right now Minister of Education in Russia. I was in St. Petersburg State University. I was the head of this unified profile project in Russia. I spent 2 years. We spent a lot of money on that, and after that I quit Russia. And so I found that it's not possible to do anything with Russian government, and it's a more stupid thing which I can do is to continue trying to build something with Russian government. So according to that, I don't believe in this future in Russia, and Russia have so many problems right now. So that's why really I left Russia already a year ago, and I'm trying to put all my friends and all my employees to the Europe or to all our world. If we're talking about the normal markets like European Union or United States, really the education here is much more independent than in Russia. In Russia, yes, any university, if the government don't ask them to do something, they will never do. They are very scared to do something which they were not asked to, you know, like, and it's a big problem. And in Europe, no, it's totally different. In the United States, all the universities, they're very much more free. They're very open to use any type of the software they want and so on. And really, they invest in a lot of money into the upgrade of their technology stack and so on. And so really, they want to be better than other universities. There is big competition between universities and colleges in the United States, and schools and different educational companies. And market as it is, it's much more much more predictable and much more transparent. And really, if we're talking about different solutions like our, there are a lot of different possibilities how we can cooperate. And really, there are a few big competitors like IBM, who really they're working in a little bit different direction, but the idea is very close to ours idea, and they're trying to make this solution for their internal systems and so on. And the real competition on market in the United States is much more understandable, transparent, and but it's good when the competition is always good, you know. And so I do not see any problem with government in Europe or United States. I talked a lot with different universities here in Europe and in USA, and all of them was open to idea. They all are ready to try. You know, they're like, okay, let's try. Why not? You know, like, let's try. They're not able to like promise us some big results, yes, but to try some small things on some small groups of the people. Why not? They're very open, and all of them are trying to make their work better and more effective. Not like in Russia. In Russia, everybody thinks how to be on the place, how to keep their pocket with the money, and so on and so on. So people are solving totally different problems. I think that really in Europe and USA is already such a huge market that we can do just in USA and Europe, and Asia as well. Asia is growing so much. So fast, you know, like in Japan and China and all those countries and Singapore, they all have the same problems. A lot of people are moving from other countries trying to find some job, and they have the same problems, verification of personal data, and we can try to solve it.
I see. Thank you for sharing such a sincere feedback. Okay, the last three questions. Could you please tell a bit like about the future of Disciplina, the nearest future, like what you are expecting to implement in the next half a year?
So right now we start development the mobile phone application. We was expecting it to become a little bit faster, but we forced some technical issues we're solving right now. It's a normal thing, you know, like if somebody will tell you that they develop some IT product without any unpredicted issues, it's not true. It's not possible, you know, like so right now we really hoping to get this mobile application rather soon, so the people will be able to use our this diploma certification and validation software already in their mobile phones. And that's the first like main goal. And also we are really trying to get as many new test users as possible. So we are open to start sharing the codes of the nodes of our blockchain to node testers, to start the node testing program when users are able to start their own node on their own infrastructure, for example, Amazon or so. They can set it up, and so it's a next step for decentralization, you know, like that's the main, I think, goals. And also we have some new ideas for next applications. So it's like a test application to run some tests of your skills and so on, and so a few new partnerships. But yeah, the main I told, I think so.
Thank you, Ilya. I wish you to succeed in all the beginnings.
Thank you.
Okay, and like COVID pandemic really gave a boost to EdTech industry, because a lot of investments came, and we see a lot of EdTech unicorns for now. And do you think that blockchain industry could like enrich the EdTech industry, and in what ways? One of the ways is actually Disciplina is verified profiles, but what other possible implementations of blockchains do you see in the EdTech industry?
Really, there are a lot of different issues. Yes, really, one of the big, very big issue, for example, in the United States, which can be really possible to solve with some blockchain solution, maybe with Discipline or maybe with any other solution, is the problem with the educational loans in USA. The problem when the education is not free, it's okay. But in US, you know, there is a lot of programs when students, they get the loans just before they enter the college or university, and after that, they pay back these loans for many years after the college. Yes. One of the interesting solutions and different ideas is some type of the DeFi systems which can grant different loans, but decentralized loans, which will be granted not by the banks and different centralized financial systems, but by the market outside. And also, you understand, when it's a DeFi, you can make more tailor-made solution for each student. So if you are a very successful student, if you are really very good one, and you have like a possibility to get a higher paid job in the future, you can, it's like an idea, but why not? You can put yourself on the market when you ask for the loan for college, and you show your rate that you have like an extra cool rate, and people can invest money, not giving you like a loan as it is, but for example, invest money in you like a person, as the VC companies do right now, VC funds do right now with the companies. For example, right now, VC funds and any financial funds, they invest money into the companies. But imagine the situation if you will be able to invest money into the person itself, you know, and because blockchain can give us the transparency, blockchain can give us some exactly some type of the control or the information which person have. It's like a stages of his progress. Yes, it opens really new possibilities, for example, to educate people like other way. Yes, when really the market can support talented people with a cheaper loans, or maybe without any loans, like grants and so, just because he's a very cool. I think it can support a lot of people who do not have access to the money right now. It's a big problem in Western market, really, and also it can be a good solution for any educational market. Imagine like that, like a lot of blockchain projects are raising millions and hundreds of millions right now on different ICOs and different token sale campaigns. And imagine if some of this money will be drawn to the people as themselves, because the person like one person can be like a company. It can be investment instrument, you know, you can invest exactly to the person. And imagine this person, 5 years later, this person found some IT company, and a few years later the shares of the of this person cost, I don't know, like 100 billion, and you had some shares of the person. You know, that it's a totally different approach, you know.
That's a very cool idea. I would like, you know, to invest into
some
of Vitalik Buterin in 2010, for example.
yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Yeah, and the thing is, so that there are a lot of people who was not able to get proper education, college education, university, just because of the lack of the money, because of maybe their families had a bad background and so on, and so they was not very successful or was not very lucky without their background. Maybe they made some mistakes in past, but and that made it's not possible for them to get the proper loan rates for the college loan, and so they get the worst conditions, less money, which they have to pay back for next 20 years. And so that's one of the things I see is a very big future. It's exactly the DeFi, you know, like decentralized finances, like which are connected to your personal life. You know, it can track what you spend, how you spend, it can really make your like a profile what you're doing, you know, all the time. And based on that, you can get some loans for the education and make yourself better. Sorry.
Nice. I believe in words you say. Okay, and the last question. Let's return to the local level and Disciplina. What are the current ways to use your token, Disciplina token?
Currently, right now, our we have tokens in on the Binance Smart Chain and Ethereum chains. Right now, really, we are running few liquidity providing reward campaigns, so the users can provide the liquidity to our trading pools on the PancakeSwap, for example, and get the reward every 2 weeks. Yes, and the reward we pay them in USDT. So just as a share of the all liquidity pool they provided. So for example, if you provided the 10% of the all liquidity we have on the PancakeSwap, you will get the 10% back every 2 weeks from our reward pool. So we update this program every 2 weeks and so on. So but it shows very good results. A lot of users participates and everybody like it. So we have a few new programs coming. So one exactly like with the APYSwap as well. So yes, so we are talking about the liquidity pool where you have to provide the liquidity providing our token and APYSwap token. So and we really want to increase this program in future. So and this is what we're talking about, the our like a token which are circulated on Binance Smart Chain and Ethereum. And but we also have our native token running on our chain, which is Alpha Chain. Yes, but also there is a token. There are tokens already and so on. And I think very soon we will start providing the demo access to the users to the wallets where they will be able to have their own native blockchain tokens already. It will not be tradable, it will not be transferable. You will not be able to use it outside the chain for the next period, but it's a first step to the swap of our like Binance Smart Chain token to the native one. And for sure, we will use some type of the bridges in future just to push liquidity from our chain to another, because it's normal right now when project can have token on different chains at the same time. It's normal, you know, like all of the most of the projects, they have tokens in many chains. And yeah, and APYSwap and all this guy, you exactly help like that to run the liquidity from one chain to another, and you help to do that. Yeah.
Yes, and if somebody of the viewers would like to take part in our reward program, a joint reward program of Disciplina and APYSwap Foundation, we will leave the link in the comment section. Okay, Ilya, thank you a lot for coming. Thank you for sharing the insights regarding like edtech industry and blockchain industry. I wish Disciplina to become the new blockchain unicorn.
Hopefully, we will do our best, you know. Thank you for calling me. Yes, welcome everybody to participate in our future LP staking reward program. So thank you. Have a nice day and bye-bye.
Yeah, thank you. And dear viewers, subscribe to our channel. We will have more interviews with the prominent representatives of the blockchain industry. Stay tuned. Bye-bye.